of yama things in some cultures. But let's talk about the cultures that are a little sane and close to what Islam would prefer, even when they are not all in all Islamic culture. Now, when it comes to the domestic premarital sex, it is quite restrictive. People do it in secret. They don't let anybody know. And once in a while, even if the father knows, he gets angry, it becomes a problem, and sometimes the father may decide to force her to marry the person who slept with her or who she slept with. When it now comes to the atomic one, it is very permissive. There's no big deal now. In fact, they say we were having an affair. They don't say they are committing zina. They say we were having an affair. Oh, that was my ex now. It was my ex-boyfriend. We used to have an affair those days. The atomic one, they don't really take it as any big deal. They commit these things. They do it a lot. Some of them do sexting. That's when they do this thing on telephone. Some of them use video chat for one another. Some of them, you see them, it's so permissive, let me put it that way. People put morality aside. People don't even talk about Islam anymore. When it comes to that atomic one, they are like, we are adults. Both of us have mutually accepted to do this thing. Sometimes they say they were moved. Sometimes they say they were on. Some of them will say they were aroused. They use all of those kind of excuses. Because atomic, they can go somewhere and do whatever they have to do. There was a time I was asking somebody, I said, but where do you people get the chance to do it in our own time? Where will you lay a woman down and sleep with her? In your father's house or in her own father's house? There was even no opportunity, even if you wanted to do it. How do you guys do it? You know, people tell me what they actually do because they know I will not judge them. So I asked him, I said, how do you... He said, Ustadh, you don't know. I said, honestly, wallahi, I don't know. He said, there are many ways now. You want me to say it? No need to say it. So there are many ways now. May Allah forgive us. That is the atomic family system when it comes to premarital sexual activity. They can do anything. They do all sorts of things. They kiss, they peck, they shake hands, they rub each other, they smooch each other, when nobody is watching. They do this in offices. They do that in some hotels. They pay for short term. They pay for 2 hours in hotel. They do what they need to do. They go back. They don't even see any big deal in it. But when it comes to out of wedlock birth, to give birth to a child out of wedlock, with the trustee one, it's a very big issue, to the extent that they can even disown that person for that reason. They will disown the girl. They say she's no longer their daughter in that family because she got pregnant and she gave birth to a child outside, and the child is tagged and named a bastard from now to the day of judgment. In some cultures, some people even use some fiqh to say a bastard cannot be an imam. Maybe it's Maliki. It's a way of deterrent to say if you give birth to a child outside of wedlock, the child will not be an imam. And as far as Sharia is concerned, the child can be disinherited because of that. You follow what I'm saying? The child is disinherited because the child was born outside of wedlock. Now, when it comes to the one within domestic one, there's a stigma that the child is illegitimate, and sometimes they don't even do the wedding anymore. And sometimes they come to the wedding with the pregnancy. In some cultures in Nigeria, they don't see it as anything. They say, the nikah I want to do today, Allah has already done it. We don't need to pray that Allah should give them children again. Allah has already given them one. Allah Akbar. You know some people who do that. God. I'm just generalizing. It's not in all cases. But in some cases, they don't see any big deal. The woman is pregnant. They are still doing the nikah. They will still do the nikah. Even if you people of Sunnah say, no, you don't do 2 nikah. Is it for the baby or for the mother? They will say, hey, let's do the nikah. If not, they will keep sleeping with each other. Oh, A'udhu Billah. In some families, it's a very serious matter. In some families, it's not a big deal. They will say, you are pregnant. Some family will even say, no, we can't give you our daughter to marry unless she's pregnant. Because how will we be sure that you are man enough to impregnate her? You know they do that in some families. May Allah save us. We all know that this is not Islamic. But the atomistic one is not a big deal. They even abort. Nobody will know. Because they are together with themselves. There's nothing that is stigmatizing. There's nothing that's illegitimate. In fact, sometimes they will do that and they will pretend as if nothing happened. Sometimes they don't even do wedding again. They'll just be living together. Oh, Allah have mercy on us. Generally, also when it comes to wedding with the trustee, something everybody is involved, the two families, two clans, they'll come there and they celebrate. The atomic one, they can do it inside the parlor. The father can give away his daughter, and that's the domestic one. Then the atomic one, they can even live together without any wedding. We have seen a lot of that. They will give her to the first child without any nikah. They say it was a mistake, right? Then the other one, the other child, they say it was an accident. Then they have another one, they said it's just one of those things. So when they have the first child, they say there's even no need anymore. And I've seen Muslims who had been married for 15 years and they didn't have a nikah. And they have 4 children. And they were asking me whether it is too late to still do the nikah. Wait, is it too late? No? Never too late. They should still do it. Allahu Akbar. And one of their children will be the mahram. Allahu Akbar. When it comes to the status of those who are single, in the trustee system, people look at them as disadvantaged. They say they pity them a lot. They say whether they have spiritual problem. They say they are abandoned. You know, that's the way they say it. They say they have married all the girls in this family, only you have not married. It becomes a stigma. It is similar in domestic situation also. When a girl is single for too long, people will begin to say all sorts of things against her. May Allah have mercy on us. And she's stigmatized sometimes. Some families, they will delay the younger sister from marrying until after the elder one has found a husband. And I've seen a family like that where somebody went to ask for the daughter, one of their daughter's hand in marriage, only for the uncle to say, you can marry her, but we'll have prefer that you marry the elder one. Yes, they say we'll have prefer you marry her because the elder one is getting close to 36 now, no husband. But this one that is younger, this one is just 29. Why don't you marry that other one? The guy say, I know this is the one I really want to marry. This is the one, gong, that I really want to marry. So they were able to talk to him, but he still refused. Then they left him to marry the younger one. The elder one is still there now, no husband up to now. And what will they do about it? It's a very big issue. But when it comes to the atomic one, to be single is not even a big deal. Some people are even proud to call themselves single mothers. And it's even valued in some society because they see it as a sign of independence. You are single, you are independent, you are okay. Just be doing your work. You have a job, you have a car, you have a house, you have some other things, and then you have a child, and your child is going to the best school, and you have a career. And so no man should come around and disturb your life. So you can call yourself a single mother, and some of them, they do a lot of things to get a child. I recently heard of one like that who was 38, going to 39, and she felt she should just go and have a child for somebody because the doctor said because of her fibrosis, she may have problem with conception. So she said she want to go and get a man that will impregnate her. And I asked, where is she going to get that from? And she said she will find her way. Is it true people do that a lot? They do that in the north, they do that in the south, they do that in the east. Almost everywhere they do that. They will just go to Ibadan. Sorry, I'm just giving an example. If the person is in if the person is in Abuja, for example, they just travel to somewhere, stay there for like a few weeks, get a boyfriend. She ensures she is in her ovulation time. The thing will just catch. She will not even tell him that anything happened. And then she just keep it like that. She will deliver, madam, my husband is living abroad. He's not here in Nigeria. That's what she will tell people. And nobody will ever see that husband. After about a long time that the child is now in school, she will just say the father is late. And nobody will know. So it's a normal thing. She will just tell you, oh, Ustadh, that's how I manage myself. I even tried the second one too, but it didn't work. But at least I have one now. And this person who is saying is 43. She has quick menopause. She's even said, Alhamdulillah, if she didn't do that, that means she would not have any child. Those of you who know fiqh very well, you should know what to think about this kind of thing. May Allah have mercy on us. Oh, Allah have mercy on us. Let me leave that alone because there are so many other salients of these three types of relationship. The summary of it all is that when it now happens like that, let me quickly stop it that way. That's number one. The foundation of how we got married. Many of you married clan to clan, and some people married, domestic family system. It's only your father that they came to see. And some other ones, it is on their own, they made the arrangement. Whichever way any of these ones come can affect the way the relationship will be in future, even in the present. Take, for instance, matters of divorce is not very rampant in the trustee family system. Because if you divorce our daughter, you have divorced the whole of our family. And before it gets to that, family members will have stepped in to ensure that that divorce is abated or is stopped from taking place. Are you following me now? Yes, in the trustee system, they will see it as an embarrassment, as a disappointment to say that some people divorced our daughter for whatever reason. And if the girl runs to her family place, they will send her back. They say, no, don't bring shame to us in this family. Go back to that family and stay with them. When people get this so difficult, in this case, they are not talking about love to say whether they love each other or not. No, that's out of it. In fact, you can't even talk about it. If there's any suffering or any problem in the marriage, they would rather look for solution. Even if the whole family will contribute money to take care of that lady, they will do it. If they see their son is not up and doing financially, in fact, the day she give birth to a child like this, she will move to the family house, Gabataya. She will go to the husband's clan, and that's where she will stay. They will take good care of her. The husband doesn't have to look for money to take care of her. And every child that is born is a child of that family, not necessarily your own child as a father. That kind of perception is still operant now in some situations. And so it ensures some solid foundation for some families. Who, if your husband misbehaves, is afraid you will report him to so and so person. And so because of that, he's able to restrain himself. Sometimes it is Islamic. Sometimes there are un-Islamic things that happen. Especially if they are very traditional, and if they are fetish, and if there are people who are akin to shirk, there may be a disadvantage. For example, they say any woman that delivers a child in this family would normally have something we do for them. We have a special pepper soup that's prepared with lizard. Hey, is there anything wrong in eating lizard pepper soup? Is it Islamic or not? Is it Islamic or not? Lizard pepper soup. Have you eaten it before? It's not Islamic. Why do you say it's not Islamic? Lizard is lizard now. Is lizard among what we should not eat? Those of you who know fiqh very well. Is lizard among what we should not eat? Can we eat crocodile? But can we eat agama lizard? Oh, they are the same, but they are different. Please consult the fiqh very well. Can we eat snake? Can we eat snake? We can eat or we can't eat it. We can't eat or you are not sure. Please find out very well. I only know that animal that eat animal like itself, we should not eat it. Unless you say a snake that eats green or that eats grass. If you say a crocodile that eats grass, yes, you can eat it. Allah knows best. Now you get the gist now. The other side of it is, apart from using something that is haram to make the pepper soup, the act of making that pepper soup for that particular reason is also what makes it to be haram. Even if it is normal ram they use for that special pepper soup that has become a shirk in their family, then there's problem. In other words, it's a long story. Sometimes it works to your advantage, sometimes it works to your disadvantage. Some people call something levirate in some families. They do that in the East. When an elder brother dies, the younger brother will marry the wife. They do that in some other places too. Yes, there's a name they call it. When the elder brother dies, the younger brother takes over the wife. Is it halal or haram? It is halal. It is halal. Why did you say it is? Why did you say it's haram? It only becomes haram if she was forced into it. The Quran says, "Wan tajma'u bayna al-ukhtayni illa ma qad salaf." You can marry two sisters. If one of them dies, you can marry the other one. It's halal, except there should be no compulsion in it. Let's leave that one for now. I can see people do a lot of fiqh. I read Micah platform. How people argue over a lot of things. That's why I'm asking those questions. The lady who stipulated her mahar, her dowry should be that the husband should not marry another wife. People talking. Where's Mumtaz? I saw paparazzi's position also. Yeah, very interesting. That's why I'm deliberately asking. I know this is what people do a lot. Leave that aside. The one that is domestic, family to family, domestic family system, sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't work well. And many of you know why or how your own is working. Then the micro one, what's the smallest one we said, atomic one. Some people marry through that means. There may be problems, there may be consequences, because there will be no third party that's reliable to report cases to. Now, of the cases that I've heard that people brought to me, the ones that were most difficult to resolve is the atomic one, where they see each other and they can any point in time tell each other they are no longer doing it again. Divorce was very quick with them. And I read one report that from January till now, over 2,000 divorce cases have been filed in a court in Abuja, in courts in Abuja. Now, it's even 4,000. 4,000, that's a lot. If you trace it very well, you'll see that most of them started in the atomic family system. So it's very easy to say it's like SIM card. I don't like this network again. Let me remove it, put another one. Without any recourse to the family. In fact, some people will even call the father and say, Salam, just let me tell you, come and take your daughter. Yes, I've heard of that one before. And the man was so sad. That's the father was so sad. 6 months after he died of stroke. Yes, because it's the only daughter he had. He did everything. The man beat the daughter and called him. I said, I just beat your daughter now. Come and take her from my house. Yes. Which kind of night which never see before. So the thing is, the one of the formula is, which of these three do you think will last longer? Or last longest? Let me use that word. You know, you can't really predict. You can't. Maybe trustee will last more, because sometimes in royal families they exchange each other's son and daughter, and they want it to remain like that forever. They will do anything that's possible to keep it like that. There may be problems, there may be cases, there may be situations where it is not the best of their sons that they give the best of another person's daughter to. In the trustee one, if it happens to be that the boy is into drugs and there's a lot of problem with him, you see that lady will be tied to him forever. You know it happens like that. Unless if Allah wills that they were able to separate, or if Allah cures the boy. Many people are victims of drug abuse now, and it's a lot of big problem for them. Let me mention the second factor that may determine the foundation of a family. And whatever happens afterward, only Allah knows. One of such is this one that all of us knows. That is love. The love that comes with these families, or the way we react, the way we feel love, and the way we exhibit love. Sometimes it may affect, it may be a big factor in whether the family is intact or not. For example, how many people here have felt love before? Raise up your hand if you have felt love before. 1, 2, 3, 4. You felt it before. You know what it's like when somebody is in love. You know what it feels like. That's what I mean. Yes. How many of you is in love now as we speak? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you are in love now. At least you love somebody. How many of you love somebody now as you speak? 1, 2, 3. The person you love is even here. 1, 2, 3. Look at the brothers. They don't even love anybody. Hey, they don't even know what love is all about. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. How many of you here feel that you are loved now as you speak? Somebody loves you. You can feel it. Not people. Somebody. I don't understand that language. You can feel it. Somebody loves you now. Now, let me tell you. How many people here feel? How many people here feel that they are in love with the wrong person? Okay, let me put it another way. Nobody will confess that one. How many people here feel that they are not loved enough? You wish you could be loved more than that. Oh, you are not loved as much as you love somebody else. That means you love that person more than the person loves you. According to your opinion, you feel that you love that person more than the person loves you. Raise up your hand. Eh? Barrister, coach. You are not answering my question. Now you are many. Okay, that means hands down means you agree. Okay, I understand now. Let's be looking at it opposite like that. Oh, Allah Akbar Kabira. How many of you here happen to have married your first love? You are married to the person you loved first in your life. Raise up your hand. Huh? It hardly happens, right? Maybe because you are not matured enough then, or maybe you are not even sure if it is love you felt, or maybe your parents, they did not hear anything when you are still in school. You love Kenny. Or maybe the boy that you loved then didn't even know that you love him. Or the two of you love each other, but you didn't know what to do about it. So it was very tormenting. It was very worrisome. But you feel, how I wish. Then something happened along the line. The whole thing didn't work again. You cried. And then you try to forget it, but it's still in your mind now. Yes. It's gone. But how many people here wish they had married that person? You wish you had married that person. Don't raise your hand if your answer is yes. I've discussed this kind of thing with you last time. It's when I saw this thing you were showing that I remembered I mentioned somebody who she was carrying the picture of that guy all along with her. She had not been able to remove herself from that past to have been able to move on. Now, let me ask you this last question before I explain what I want to explain. How many of you believe that there's one single soul that is the soulmate that is meant for everyone? One person. Only one person believes it. That do you believe that you are lucky if you marry your soulmate? It's a good thing to marry your soulmate, right? Now, is what Islamic? To marry a soulmate? Okay, hey, one person taken from Adam's reed. Oh, yeah. Yes, I understand what you mean now. Yes, some people believe that it's only one single person that was taken from somebody's rib. How many ribs people like us now have? Hey, don't even think about it. Then we become ribless. You know, when a car tire is tubeless, some people become ribeless. You know, let me tell you what I think. This is my opinion, very personal opinion. My opinion is that many of us believe there's only one person that's your soulmate for the rest of your life. I don't believe it. There are many soulmates. In fact, there are thousands of soulmates. But Allah has blessed you to choose the one that you have chosen for yourself. That's where I want you to put it. How many soulmates that people have befriended and they have thrown away? How many soulmates? So it's a myth. It's not real. The truth is there were so many factors that made us to come together. Propinquity was there. Familiarity was there. Having some things in common was there. Having interest in one another was there. Knowing fully well that this person can cope if I should settle down with this person was also there. You, brother, knowing fully well this lady can manage with me. You know I don't have any money. This lady can suffer with me is also a factor. So don't talk about soulmate though. It's because she says a lot of inshallah be like, this is a Muslim lady, let me just marry her. She will cover my secrets for me. True or false? It's not soulmate anything. Of all ladies that were available then, this was the only one that could agree with you. This was the only one that could accept you. And when she accepted you like that, you kukuma converted her to soulmate. If these women have to go by what we had before they married us, they will not have married us. I hope you know. But some of us will even make dua. Oh Allah, let her agree to marry me. Oh Allah, please. Oh Allah, let her agree to marry me. Ya Allah, Ya Allah. You even do tahajjud Mondays and Thursdays. You have intention that Allah should let should allow Risi should allow Risi to marry Rasaki. Some of those dua people used to make. So these soulmate things, if you are lucky, if Allah makes it to be that you are able to cultivate that love, fine. And many people married out of interest, not out of love. It's after marriage that you start thinking about love. Now people have different ways of loving. We have the romantic one, and this affects the foundation of marriage by way of temperament. Some people are very, very romantic in the way they want to love somebody. What do I mean by romantic love? Has any of you felt romance before? Have you felt that romantic thing before? No? What I mean by that is, you know, this kind of love that you at a point you even start fantasizing doing something with that person. I don't know how better to explain it. Yeah, it's all romantic, it's very lustful, you think a lot about the person, and you think a lot about how you and that person will touch one another, and you and that person will love each other. You begin to fantasize even before you get married to each other. During marriage, sometimes this romantic feeling doesn't always continue. Sometimes it goes, it comes, it goes, it comes, depending on your mood, when you are happy or when you are broke. So the romance becomes subjected to some other things. For some people, that's the only way they know how to love. That's the only way they know how to love. Any other thing apart from that romantic one, they don't know it. The other type of love is the one we call the manic kind of love. That is having to do with craziness. Something like, I'm crazy about you. Be my baby, I'm crazy over you. That kind of thing. To become, see, you people are looking at me like this. Has any of you been crazily in love before? As in crazy in love before? Has somebody loved you crazily before? When the person cannot sleep, the person cannot eat without thinking about you, or without you thinking about the person. It only happen on TV. No, you've not seen it. You've not seen it in real life. It happens. This guy will be fidgeting. Salam alaikum, Ustadh. Salam alaikum, Ustadh. I've been calling her. She didn't pick my call. She didn't pick my call, Ustadh. She take it easy. She will pick your call. Maybe she's very busy. You people have not seen anything. No, I'm talking about this one that burns. It's like fire. That fires up people's desire. It's called manic love. It exists, it's happening. And I'll tell you why I'm explaining this to you. Let me give you an insight. Let's say the other type of love that we call egoist love. Ego, love that loves itself. And love itself. Not you, but the person loves love. You understand what I mean? The person is not loving you as a wife or as a woman, but the person is loving love. That's why the person can have serial girlfriends and doesn't feel anything bad in it. He's only playing the game of love. You are just a metric. You are just a number. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yes, you are just like one of her boyfriends. Not that she loves you, it is love she loves. And imagine some people who marry a lady that loves love, not themselves. Having boyfriends will not be an issue to her. Chatting with people on phone is not a big deal. Having many friends and likes on Facebook is not a big deal to her because she's in love with love, not you as the man. And if you drag it too much, you'll be like, which one? What is it? Waiting. We have the compassionate love also. The one that shows that's the one the Quran describes as mawaddatan wa rahma. Very compassionate and very caring. Then we have the altruistic love that is self-sacrificing. Even when you don't love them back, they still love you all the same. Even when you are bad, they still love you all the same. These are the ones who divide love into three. We have the if type of love, we have the because type of love, and then we also have the regardless kind of love. If love is when you say, I will love you if you can do so and so thing. Or if so and so thing is in order, then I'm going to love you forever. The because kind of love is, I love you because you do this and that. When that because is removed, then the love is gone. Then we have the regardless. Regardless is whether you are good or bad, I will still love you. That is this altruistic kind of love. People take advantage of them. They end up loving wrong people. People cheat on them, and they will still stay. They don't know how to say no. They don't know how to go unless you push them away. Let me now tell you this. Are you with me now? Suppose a woman who has idea of altruistic love, the one I just described now, marries a man that has an idea of romantic love. And then there's one girlfriend outside that has an idea of manic love. This manic lady has attached her maniac to this man with romantic love, and this man is married to the woman who is in altruistic love. What is going to happen? What's going to happen? Did you get the picture now? This is the reason why some men cheat. When this manic girl comes, la ilaha illallah, she will call him in the morning, call him in the afternoon, call him at night. In between, she will text him, she will chat with him, reply me now, baby. Don't keep me hanging now, baby. I just let me ask after you, how are you feeling now? Since the last time we chatted, I've not been able to be myself. And that was like 2 hours ago. I've never been myself. Since when I met you, I know I've never met anybody like you. This thing is driving me crazy. I need you. I want you. I want to see you. I want to have you. She'll be bothering the man with the phone, not just because she's single, but because her own kind of love is manic. Now, when I say single now, you may almost make excuse for her. A woman that is married can also have manic attachment to another man that's married with romantic sense of love. What is going to happen if manic meets manic? Some people will even say they charmed him. No, they didn't charm him. This is what he has been looking for all his life. This man is romantically wired, but the wife is either pragmatic, that is somebody who everything is black or white. I'm either in the mood or I'm not in the mood. If I'm in the mood, yes. If I'm not in the mood, no. She's the one that will close the border and say, sorry, nothing for you now because I'm not in the mood. She can keep malice with the husband, and this man is romantic. He's fantasizing a lot of things. When there's a mismatch in our temperament and the foundation of the love we feel for one another, there will always be that problem that nobody can resolve. Imagine, oh, Allah Akbar. Please bear with me the way I am saying these things. I am saying it in such a way that I wish you could just understand what I'm saying. Imagine a Muslim lady will tell you that, Ustadh, I've never seen any man that I love like that one. She's married though, but she's in love with another man that's also married. She will say, even when I close my eyes, I can see him. She will say, he knows the right word to say to me. I don't know how he gets to know whenever I'm feeling down. He will just call me and it will make me happy. I don't think I can ever. Is there anything? Sorry? You are following me? You know some people who have been into that before? Allah Akbar. You know the funniest part of it? The funniest part of it is that it's not funny. Unless this fitna has not affected you. Unless you are not a victim of this. And unless your husband is not a victim of a maniac lady. It's not easy for men to run away. I'm saying this to you ladies. See, I'm facing you now. Because some men have confessed to me that, Ustadh, I've never seen this kind of thing before in my life. I wish it's my wife that loves me like this. I'll be like, but your wife also loves you. It's just that she has her own different ways of expressing her love. A man will swear that from the day we married, my wife had never sent a text message of I love you to me. I'll say, is that what you want? She said, yes. I'll say, tell her now. He will say, she won't do it. My sister. You see, if some men should start sending such things to their wives, some of these ladies, they don't even know what it means. The man will have sent it. It is the third day before she will see the message. She'll not be like, oh, why are you the one that sent a heart to me 6 days ago? Or when was that, Seth? What was that supposed to mean? You'll be like, you'll be like, I was just thinking about you. When I say, oh, thank you, that's all. Oh. Thank you, my sister. That's the word to say. This thing that we are laughing at, that is the problem in some families. Honestly, it's not that some people are wicked, it's just that they don't know how to do it. All of this one of romance, touch me here, kiss me here, hold me here. Some men, their wives want to, what? She just want to hug him. What? Kill him. You say, but I just want to hug you. About what? Huh? Oh, Allah help us. But in a nutshell, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Does anybody here understand what I'm saying? When these matters come like this, the question you need to ask yourself is that, is there that compatibility with regards to the way both of you feel love and the way you express the love? If there's no compatibility, is there any way it can be discussed? Can we look at it? Can people change? You understand what I'm saying? Can people rearrange themselves? Some men have what we call fetish attached to the kind of loves they have. Fetish is if there's a particular thing that turns him on. And I've asked some men, I will say, what particularly turns you on with your wife? And some men will say, what turns me on with her is whenever she dresses and wears that her hijab, that she turns him on. That means she likes it a lot. Another one will say, it's the hairstyle she makes that turns me on. A man once told me that he likes makeup a lot. But the wife doesn't like makeup. Even if she does the makeup, all of this, she'll look as if she just ate raw meat. You know, there's a lot of people who put makeup, they will look like real witches. Real one. Have you seen witches before? Yeah, they will look as if they just ate raw meat. The way the whole thing will just be somehow. So some will not even bother to put it. They tell you, a lady wants to say, what's there? I'm okay like this. You know, he knows now. He knows I don't like makeup. And this brother said he bought makeup kit for her up to 3 or 4 times. She will just throw it to one side. That in his presence, she does one out to somebody in his presence. In his presence, she dashed one lady. But that he likes it, that the lady will rub powder and then put those things small, not plenty, you know what I mean. But small like that, but the wife doesn't like it and she doesn't do it. Now, if that guy, honestly, this I'm telling you, it's not a matter of Emmanuel. If that guy now sees those ladies that put those things, he will be admiring them. He will be admiring them, but he won't tell anybody. He won't tell anybody. If it now happens that one of these ladies that wear makeup gets attached to him, now you see he will start misbehaving. Then he will start asking Ustadh, I want to ask about this polygamy thing. Me too, I may likely do it too. I'll be like, you fit, can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it? You can't do it too. But we know when somebody is acting out of fetish, he may not see any other thing apart from that makeup that puts him on. That's all that interests him. Some ladies also have fetish with men, but men don't know. Some ladies like nice smell of perfume in a man. Nice smell of perfume. One lady once told me that that's the thing that puts her on most. That any man that passes by and wears nice perfume, she will look at the man and admire, even if the man is ugly. And she said there was a time she quarreled and brought it up with the husband. The husband decided to buy one perfume to be using from National Mosque. Anytime he puts it like this, he'll be smelling like symmetry. You know this? you know this time? You go and make me to laugh. It's a serious matter you are laughing at. Yes, you know this kind of chemical they use in mortuary. How many of you have heard that mortuary before? The chemical they use in mortuary, that's how the guy will be smelling. Buy real perfume and you go and buy cheap one. Somebody will buy perfume of 700 naira. Perfume of 700 naira. Now if he hears that they sell a particular perfume for 40,000, he'll be like, are we going to be drinking it? Even though it's sunnah of the prophet that a man should. Look, all of you, if your husband is not smelling nice, tell them that I said he should start smelling nice. How about waiting? There's no lady that likes bad smell. Some men, this one that they say, hug your husband. If you try, you pass out. Unless he doesn't raise his armpit. You just faint. They'll say, what did happen? You don't know what hit you. Bad smell. And this one I will say kiss. This is the reason why some of you don't kiss each other again. The mouths have started smelling. With menthol minty kind of smell like that in his mouth. Is that even better? No, I'm talking about the real mint. Don't you know the kind of meat that smells from latrine? Ammonia. That's the name I should have used. Ammonia. In fact, it's really ammonia. It sounds so ammonic. May Allah have mercy on us. Now you see, this foundation is this foundation of the love that we feel and the way we feel the love. This is what I'm trying to explain. And the thing that excites this love, and the thing that solidifies it, and the thing that ignites this love. and the things that sustains this love that we feel, and the things that is compatible with the way we feel. You know, I was talking about some people are very altruistic in their love. People who are altruistic, they love the other person more than they love themselves. They are ready to sacrifice everything for the other person. But the problem they have is that people always take advantage of them. People cheat on them, people ridicule them, and people make them to stay in a relationship that's not working. Unfortunately, people who are very altruistic in love, they end up marrying their opposite. I've mentioned this before. They mention someone who is egoistic. They marry a man that's arrogant, that is bossy, a man that's oppressive, a man that doesn't appreciate them, a man that doesn't love them back, a man that loves only himself, not her. It can come the other way around too. You know, I'm just using it this way because I've seen more cases of women who are altruistic marrying men who are egoistic. There's a lot of that. In fact, no matter what you do to this woman, she will still stay. Even if she's right, she will still apologize, just to ensure that the marriage doesn't collapse, to ensure that things still go well. This man will only care about himself. He's so selfish. Even when they're in the bedroom, he's very selfish. He will only satisfy himself and then you can go to sleep if you like. He will not oblige the wife only when he's in the mood. Even if the wife is not in the mood, he will still compel her and this woman will still submit. But these same men that are very egoistic, they are very cautious. They will not marry women like themselves. They will not marry women who will also be egoistic like themselves. So let me put it to you. If you are very altruistic, have small ego, you should also try to defend yourself and protect yourself. Defend and protect your kingdom. Just like a man has his own kingdom, you also have your own kingdom. And let it that everybody must respect your kingdom. What you cannot accept, please reject it. Because it kills people in their hearts. You die slowly without realizing it. Once the foundation of the love in that marriage is faulty, you will not know any peace in that marriage. You will just be managing. You will just be surviving in that marriage. You will survive, but you will not thrive. You will begin to exist. You will not grow. Yes, you will just be there. You will not gel. You will not flow. You will not prosper. You will have a lot of movement without progress. And then you begin to die inside. You begin to corrode inside. The marriage will not become managed for you. No, I don't believe that marriage should be managed. The man will be cheating on you and you can't complain. The man will bring some conditions that you can't fulfill. Some conditions that are dehumanizing. Conditions that are humiliating. Conditions, circumstances, and behaviors that are not humane. Because you are altruistic, you still give in. You still accept. You still let it be like that. Why don't you marry someone who is altruistic like yourself? No, you won't. Because you always look for the underdogs. You always look for men that have issues. You always look for men you can pity. You always look for men that you can have mercy on. While you are being compassionate and altruistic in your love, these men are very egoistic. And ego will always look for what will favor it. If romance outside is what will favor him, he will do it. If you like, tie Quran on his neck. Allah Akbar. Do you know that we went on Hajj together, and some people still have special room for their girlfriends in Mecca? Why would they do that? It is egoist. They only care about themselves. They don't know that cheating on their wives is affecting her. And the brother was saying, actually, I wanted to marry. It's because she's too jealous. He's thinking only about himself. He's not thinking about the woman's feelings. And the fact that she has sacrificed every part of her life, the best part of her youth, she has sacrificed it for him, only for him to turn around and say she's not romantic enough. I want everybody to look at this foundation. If you are too altruistic, please add romance to your life now. Add romance. You too should have some pizzazz and panache. Add something to enjoy life about. This conjugal relation between husband and wife, it is supposed to be enjoyed. Why don't you condition your mind to also enjoy it with your husband? And your husband is so egoistic, somebody should talk to him. That's not how to live life. If this foundation has problem, this puts us into this aspect of I'm looking for a word to use. You know, I've been talking about love as one of the foundations now. I want to move it into the sexual relation, as it is, because they affect one another. There's a difference between love and sex. So you may love somebody, but you don't have sex with that person. It depends on the type of love we are talking about. You know what I mean? And to say that people's love affairs are very sweet doesn't mean that their sexual life will be sweet too. Couples may love each other from here to Saudi, but on the bed, in the bedroom, it's another matter entirely. They don't enjoy one another, or they avoid one another, or they are not into one another. Or the man may have certain inadequacies, but he loves his wife nevertheless. If there's a situation like this, people are supposed to work on it. A particular guy loves his wife so much, and you will know that he loves her, but he has diabetes. And this diabetes is affecting his performance. Another person may have cardiovascular issue, taking medicine for, what do they call this heart issue? High BP will affect his performance in the bedroom. Some others, it's livelihood, it is existentialism. It is how to survive, how to make life that's affecting him. Even the woman, she's a career woman, she goes to work, she comes back, she's tired, she's busy, her libido is reduced. Many things can happen with regard to bedroom matter, but I will not rule it out. That's also a factor in establishing a family that is meant to thrive. People do this thing for two reasons. See, I've moved from the love thing I was talking about. I hope you understand. I want to blend it in. You all understand that the love temperament in people may be a problem they have. And I also concluded that if you see that your husband is not romantic, but you are very romantic, find ways of making him to romance in the little way that you can. Teach him where to touch, teach him what to do, and let him know that he can also kiss you. It's not haram. I hope you understand. Like I normally joke, even if his mouth is smelling, hold his head against the wall and scrub it for him. Hold him like this. Use charcoal, mix it with alum. Just find your way around. You know what I mean? Romance is very nice. Compassion in love is very nice. That's why Allah combines mawaddatan wa rahma. Love and mercy, they go hand in hand. I want people to learn to express love to one another. And one of the ways, before I leave that area completely, the Prophet said something that is similar to tahadu, tahabu, tahabu. That is give to each other so that you can love one another. Yes, that's a very important one. Gift of money, gift of time, gift of affection, gift of attention, gift of listening to one another, gift of being concerned about each other, gift of understanding each other's temperament, each other's love language, each other's love and feelings. To be validated, for somebody not to even be able to love you enough, but to be able to show you that, look, I'm trying my best to show how much I can love you. I think it is reassuring. I hope you understand. It's not for somebody who doesn't even care whether you feel good or you don't feel good. Somebody who only cares about himself. Now, the matter of the bedroom, we have the sex for pleasure and sex as affection. And then we have sex as reproduction. For some people, it's only when they want to make babies that you see them coming together. After then, nothing happens again. Those trustee family system, when it comes to sex, you know, it's not a big deal to them. In fact, the woman can even go and stay in the other family's place for months, and the husband will not even have access to her. She can't say, I need my husband. She can't say it. They will say, you like this thing too much. And so she'll be hiding. Even if she's missing her husband, she won't talk. If her husband goes to visit her, she will not confess, she will not own up. They live in the family house, family setup, so she can't just suddenly go and hug her husband. Say what? She'll be feeling shy and embarrassed. But sometimes for this atomic family system, all of these romance things are very sweet and very easy. Do you agree with me? Yeah, they are very sweet, very easy. You can do anything you like. If you like, fast from morning till time of iftar, you break your fast with sex. It's nobody's business. You break your fast by kissing. I've had a couple who boastfully told me that. Now, Ustadh, do you know that sometimes we use sex to break our fast? I was feeling embarrassed, but I didn't show it. I said, it's a nice thing now. Hey, babe, people have been fasting since Monday. See, have that energy. Young people, I wish we could be younger so that we can try that too. If not, then they will rush you to the hospital. Oh, Allah have mercy on us. Now, let me tell you, the foundation of this one, this number 6 I'm talking about, is such that sometimes it can be indulging as pleasure. You know what I mean by pleasure now? Now, when it comes to pleasure, does it not mean it's something that you enjoy, right? When you drink water, there's a way some people derive pleasure in drinking water. Some people like food a lot. And the way some people like food, not just anyhow food, they want some special kind of food. They eat for pleasure. In fact, some people travel because of food. I've heard of somebody who said they traveled because there's a restaurant they used to know in Dubai. They want to go there and eat that kind of food. Allah Akbar. Some people love food. Wallahi, some people love food. They can write a poem about food. The way they regard food, the way they respect food, the way they talk about food, the way they discuss food, the way they perceive food, the way they imagine food, the way they dream about food, the way they see food as a destiny, will make you understand that these people also look at food as adini. They see food as ibadah. Have you seen somebody eating amala? La ilaha illallah. And there's the way they cock their neck to one side like this. When the amala is coming to the mouth, there's the way they do it like that. And then by then they put in their mouth, there's the way they use their finger. If it's okra, they use their finger to just do it like that. Very neatly, and the whole thing will just go down. Yeah. Why is that brother laughing like that? More people like food though. Not like this one that you people eat anyhow sometimes because this one. How many of you here like Indomie? If you like Indomie, you are so underdeveloped when it comes to evolution of love of food. May Allah have mercy on us. You see why I'm talking about food like this? It also affects other things that people like for pleasure. I want to ask all of you here, what do you do for pleasure? What do you do for pleasure? Don't tell me you read Quran. I'm not going to accept. What do you do for pleasure? That's something that you really enjoy. Ladies, I'm not talking about gossip. I'm talking about real pleasure. Honestly, this is what I'm asking you. If you didn't think about it before, please start thinking about it. Do you hear what I'm saying? Marufat. Salam alaikum. Did you hear what I just said now? I said everybody should think about it. What is it that you derive pleasure from? What gives you pleasure? And I want you to find out. Please, what gives you pleasure? Yes. As an individual and with other people. As an individual first. Yani, what food do you love most? Do you like food? What drink do you love most? Do you like drinking? I'm not talking about alcohol. You know what I mean now. Okay, like me now. I derive pleasure in talking. I talk a lot. I will even forget to eat when I'm talking. You know, that's one it's a habit, it's a way of life. Then what other thing do I don't know much other thing. I will be thinking about it too. But I want you people to also think about it. I want you to see how you can carry your feeling of pleasure into your bedroom and see how you can like derive pleasure in the bedroom. This is a very fundamental foundation of life, especially marital life. Allah was not ashamed of mentioning this relationship between husband and wife. And Allah is very strict about it when he said, Azani wa zaniyatu fajlidu kulla wahid minhuma miyata jalda. That if anybody should commit adultery or fornication, this is the punishment. Do you understand what I mean now? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said you will even be rewarded when you are engaged in that activity. So as a foundation, I want couples to please try, begin to see how they can derive pleasure from this. Now, let me now say something that is a taboo. We don't discuss it in Islamic gathering. What of couples who don't know how to derive pleasure? How do they learn? Should they watch pornography? Is it halal or haram for them? Everybody knows that it is haram. But do people do it or not? People do it, but they won't tell. So when couples come around and they ask me this kind of question, it's usually very difficult for me to answer it. Because I discover that in most cases they're already doing it, they just want to ask me to hear what I will say. And so sometimes I don't answer. I will say I don't have answer for it. Go and read, go and research. I don't have answer for it because some people will hold you in between and in betwixt. If not that this gentleman is recording, I will explain some other things. But I don't want it to be recorded so that people will not listen to it outside this place and misunderstand what I'm saying. Anybody there listen to me? Are you there? Are you there? I know, don't pause, we are being selfish. Let's just leave it like that, Jerry. The thing I just want you to understand is, please, brothers, you should learn how to give pleasure to your wives. If you don't know it, go and learn it. Ask those who know if you don't know. They will teach you how to do that. And in all honesty, one brother once asked me, he just got married. This happened about 8 years ago. That's 2012, right? 2012 is 8 years. He just got married and he called to ask me that Ustadh, you remember we came for counseling the other day and said yes, that today was in a car. Oh, alhamdulillah, mashallah, barakallah. He said, but I'm scared. What about what? He said, I don't know how to do this thing. I said, what? He said, honestly, I don't even know how I'm going to do it because I've never done this before. And I don't want my wife to laugh at me that I don't know how to do it. I said, I'm sure she too, she may not know how to do it. He said, he thinks so because she too, she's behaving one kind. So I said, so I cannot be teaching you on the phone like this now. I said, okay, you know what? It's not compulsory. Then I brought a fatwa. I said, it's not compulsory that you must sleep in the night of wedding. It's not compulsory that you must sleep with each other. Just take your time, don't rush. I said, it's not compulsory that you must. So whatever you people know how to do, just do it. Then later you'll be learning how to go about it. I said, if your wife has never known a man before, you know it's going to be very hard for her. I said, hey, they said it will be very painful. I said, yes, but don't worry, don't disturb her. Later you'll be learning it. This thing I'm telling you, it was much, much later that I found somebody who is not as shy as I am to teach him how to do what he had to do. And then somebody else was detailed to explain some things to the wife. And the rest of it, he was one who learned it and he learned to teach his wife. So there are many ways to go about it. However, sex as affection is also there, as a way of showing affection to one another. And then as reproduction. If you have finished reproducing, what next is there for you to do about sex? Then you can, yes, thank you, you can continue with pleasure and affection. I hope you understand. May Allah make it easy for us. I don't want to go too much into that, but I want you to understand that that's a foundation and it is a very serious matter. If after the age of 45, you see that you are not as good as you used to be, then you have to learn. And some people talk about some supplements. You can try some supplements, because to satisfy your wife is compulsory, and it's not a joke, it's not a favor you do for her. She must be satisfied. That was 3. Then number 4 is communication, that all of us know as one of the foundations for, as one of family foundation. How do we communicate? In some cultures, they are very sarcastic. The one of, what's the first one I mentioned? The type of family setting, family system. Trustee, don't forget. Trustee family system. In that way, the way they communicate is different. It's a long protocol before the message can get from the husband to the wife sometimes, not in all cases. The one that is domestic, well, many people learn from their father how their father talked to their mother. Some men can be very bossy, some fathers are very, very bossy, and some mothers are very domineering in the marriage. In some families, it's the mother that determines what's to be done. And that's why in some families, the mother that is the harsh one. She's the one that's the disciplinarian. The father is very soft and calm, but the mother is the disciplinarian. If that is how you also grew up, you may likely behave like that too. And you may likely marry a man that you are the one that will be controlling him. If you marry a man, if you see a man that will be controlling you, you will run away, you say he's too bossy. But you prefer a man that will say everything mashallah. And you say, how are we going to, you will say, do it as you want. Hey, that's the kind of man you like. You don't like a man that will take charge and you pretend that the man is not functioning. It is what you want that you got now. So sometimes in the domestic one, you imbibe from your parents without realizing it. Unless you are going to break it, you break the transition of what was happening from your marriage, and then you put a new thing in place. The atomic one, sometimes the communication is easy, sometimes it's difficult. In most of the atomic cases, the couples are age mates. And both of them think they are bosses. Everybody has and knows their rights. And nobody likes another person to talk to them anyhow. Like one lady once told me, she said, Ustadh, warn him seriously, he shouldn't talk to me anyhow. Ustadh, I take objection to somebody talking down to me like that. And the husband was there seated. He said, Ustadh, tell him and warn him seriously. This is what causes problem between us. I said I do not like somebody to talk to me like that, and I don't bloody care who that person is. Nobody addresses me that way. Anyone should learn to address me with respect. Ustaz, please tell him. I was like, hey, I like how we married. I like how we people. These are Alakoways. Hey, my baby. These are the Alakowe people. They have a way of doing their things. And the husband was like, excuse me, Ustaz, who the hell does she think she is? I don't bloody care. I will express myself. Whether you want to hear it or not, I will tell you the truth. Who do you think you are? And you know what the lady said? Said, well, you can express yourself anywhere else, but not in my house. The man said, I beg your pardon, the house belongs to both of us. So I was just like, so when the one, I would look at this one like this, and then I would look at the other one like this. And I'm able to look at this one when this one is talking. So I saw the body language and the body. They were this atomic family system where everybody is the boss. Financial wise, the lady is even more buoyant than the man. Both of them, they were schoolmates. So there's nothing you can tell me. And both of them have so much knowledge. So much knowledge in Google. You know, when you are so familiar with Google searches, you actually think you know things, but those things are not in your head. They are somewhere else. You feel you can always do Islam Q&A if you need something. So you don't need to learn it. You don't need to read it. You just wait till when the situation arises because you know you can always access it. So in your head, you feel you have knowledge. Well, you don't know anything. They begin to ask you questions about fiqh, like, well, that's very easy now. Then you start Google searching. You just thank you. You start searching for it. You see, it's a mirage. You actually think you know, but you don't really know. And sometimes you are so smart, too smart to be happy, and too smart to understand how marriage works, too smart to understand how communication works, too smart to understand that marriage is about role playing. And sometimes marriage is about playing the fool sometimes. If you want things to work, there's a way you communicate for things to work. Now, let me quickly mention this before the time runs too far away. Don't be too smart to learn the rule of communication in marriage. Respect begets respect. There are 3 of them like that. Number 1, a woman must learn to respect a man. And this is non-negotiable. If you cannot learn to respect your husband, then you are not in a marriage. You are just roommates. If you want to follow the rule the way Allah put it in place, the woman must respect the husband. And you all know what I mean by respect. In terms of everything, the way you talk to him, the way you address him, the way you relate to him, even when he's not there. Somebody comes to your house, they want to discuss something. You now say, well, I will give you the response, but allow me to discuss with my husband, I'll get back to you. You have respected him even when he's not there. And you have earned respect for yourself too, as the wife. But not, they say, we said, let's wait for you. They wait for him to come for waiting. What is it that you want? And some women will say that even if he's there, what will he do? So, this is my instruction. Go and do that. They say, but Oga said, what do you mean by that? And those one instantaneously understand that Oga is nothing to her. If you respect others, people will respect you now. And you see a man, if they are respecting you, you have to respect yourself. Don't pass your boundary. Because the woman is respecting you doesn't mean that she's stupid. Is there some men will not begin to shout? You shout on a woman, you are disrespecting her now. Or you insult her in public or in presence of other people, you are disrespecting her. So when somebody respects you, you too should respect yourself. Don't pass your boundary. Don't begin to do things as if you are the boss. Yeah, you see somebody who do like that, as if they have boil in their armpit. You see, come home like that. Then you will say, I'm Mr. Husband. No, you are Mr. Husband because Allah said so. Don't push her to the extent that she will start saying things to you. Look at it now. Help me see this matter. Is this lady that did the contribution in her office, and so she was able to buy a car? This man, out of carelessness, he couldn't fix his own car, so the car was condemned in mechanic's place. So this car, feasibility, belongs to this lady. But she now gives it to you out of respect that you should be driving it. Now, what kind of a man is that? Because your wife has given you the car to be driving, you will now drive out, she will now wait for keke napep. Now think about it now. Who is being disrespectful out of the two? Say, look, I'm in a hurry, I have to go out now. If you don't hurry up, I will drop you behind. Go and take napep over her own car. You don't know that she's just playing the rule? Remind him that she's just doing it for the sake of Allah. I saw one like that. The lady was drenched in the motor park during rainy season. And then this guy just drove past her. Just because they had quarrel, he was angry with her. She was there. The lady said, Ustadh, I saw my own car like this, drove past me, and my husband saw me. He looked at me and he looked away. I said, why don't you collect your car from him? She said, nobody knows that the car belongs to her. Car, if you see how my body was very hot. Hey, subhanallah. Somebody tried this with my daughter, eh? Now, assalamu alaikum. I just gave that as an example, as if somebody respects you, you too should respect yourself. Don't be a tyrant because they are respecting you. Number 2, a woman must be obedient to the husband. And obedience, when it comes to communication, the woman has to the man has to have the final say. That's what I mean. There should be absolute obedience to the husband. See, there's nothing a woman cannot get from a man that she's obedient to. And there's nothing a woman cannot get from a man that she shows so much respect. Among the reasons why some men cheat outside is because they don't get respect from the home. And there's one lady, do you know her name? Should I tell you her name? Nkechi. Nkechi is her name. Nkechi. Yes, that's the lady outside. That lady has respect, eh? The way she will talk to him, the way she will greet. No, not like that. People who are good are good. Let us be honest. And people who are very disrespectful are disrespectful. I don't think a man that shouts on his wife has any good intention, or is because of the wife is this and that. He's just a bad person, that's all. A man cannot justify to me why he beat up his wife. I don't know any reason he can give me for beating up his wife. I can't think of it. So the thing is, if a woman doesn't have respect, my sister, you've never really seen where a woman shows disrespect to the husband and you, man, you feel bad about it. One man once told me that, Ustadh, she hits me. I said, hits you as how? He said, ask her, she slaps me. Yes. And when I looked at her, I said, is it true? She said, ask him now, what did he do that made me to slap him? Ask him. Now think about it now. It's because you have not seen extreme cases. That's why you think this is not being so. It's a very serious matter. I want to advocate for absolute respect. Let people respect one another. Absolute and mutual. Let people learn to respect one another. Please, people should show respect. Show honor to your husband. And let the husband show honor to the wife. Please respect your wife now. No matter what she does or who she is, don't shout on her. Don't talk. Some people will even be cursing their wives. Imagine a man will be telling you, Olori Buruku Arai. Say that in English. Olori Buruku. A husband saying that to the wife. You are so stupid. You are dumb. Weary. You are crazy. Under which part of Sharia do we put that one? Weary, you are stupid. Go and say that to your parents at home. A man saying that to the wife. Now you see why I get angry now. Because this thing don't really work well with me. I've mentioned respect, I've mentioned the openness. And then there's another one I want to add though. Which one is that I needed to add? If I remember, I will tell you. But I want respect and I want obedience. If you can do this one, the third one I will have loved to add is, well, is it necessary? Loyalty. I want people to be loyal to one another. And loyalty means you protect each other and defend each other behind their backs. Yeah, you have to be loyal. Don't you see these Indian people, how they can be so devoted and loyal to each other? So I want couples to be devoted and to be loyal to one another. Don't treat each other like trash, as if you are not important. So when it comes to communication, I want you to put all of those three in place. And I pray Almighty Allah is going to make it easy for all of us. And what's the last one? I've mentioned 4 already. The first one I was talking about the foundation and the marriage family system as a foundation for the marriage. How this one is advantaged and this is disadvantaged. The second one, what did I mention? I mentioned love as a parameter for looking at the foundation for marriage. If there's a mismatch, then there may be a problem. Then I also mentioned sexual activities, and I just mentioned communication now. And let me mention the last one that all of you know. That's why I'm putting it last. And what is that? Who can guess? Who can guess? Now, who can guess? You know, I've not mentioned money at all. I didn't mention finance. Because let all of them be where they will be. The last one I want to mention, which is very important, is faith. Is faith. You people generally believe it to be Iman. Faith. And I think it's a bedrock of many things. I don't want to talk too much about it, but you all understand. Amongst the people Are you listening now? Thank you. Amongst the people that are most difficult to be married to are people who are faithless. People who don't believe in anything. They don't even believe in you as a wife, as a woman, as their companion. If people don't believe in you, then they don't trust you. They want to monitor everything about your life because they don't have any trust in you. Faith is so important to the extent that it determines what we do when there's problem. It determines what we do when there's trouble. It determines what we do when there's trial of life. It also affects our knowledge also. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. Those who fear Allah the most are those who are learned. Faith also brings knowledge along with it. What do we know about each other and what do we know about Allah? What we understand by marriage being an amana and each other being amana to each other. What do we condone? What do we accept? What do we adapt to? What does Allah say? In what way is our belief system affecting our marriage? I brought this in because some people said it, and I don't know whether it is just a blackmail. They say you get the highest rate of divorce for Muslims. Is it true? I don't want to believe it. Depending on the environment, right? Where the Muslims are in the majority, you still see a lot of divorce amongst them, right? Where Muslims are in the minority, you don't see much divorce amongst them. Where non-Muslims are majority, you still see a lot amongst them. So it's everybody divorce. Any tribe divorces, any religion divorce. But what of Muslims? See, I don't have problem with divorce. What I have problem with is when people live together and they become fitna to each other. They become tyrants even though they lay claim to Islam. Who do you think is offended if a man is cheating his wife? Is she offending the wife or offending Allah or both? This man thinks actually that he is only offending the wife. He's not even thinking of Allah at all. You now ask somebody, you say, but what do you think Allah will say about this thing you are doing? The quarrel of a man is that I should warn her to stop checking his phone. I should warn her to stop checking his phone. And I was like, but what do you keep in your phone that Allah doesn't see? You are not thinking of Allah. And the fact that, sometimes you want to vomit sometimes. Oh, Allah. A man will video himself masturbating and he will send this to his girlfriend. And the woman said, Ustadh, I'm here lying down beside him and my husband will get up, go into the bathroom, masturbate and send the video to his girlfriend. And the girlfriend will do the same thing and send to him. And my husband has the audacity, he will lie down beside me and he'll be watching that video. And he doesn't care whether I'm asleep or not. Allah. And we pray together in the mosque because I know the husband. What are we going to do now with this iman of a thing? Now you see what I mean by iman being a bedrock now. Faith is so important that nobody needs to run after you now. Nobody needs to check your phone. What are these darkness that we keep around us? Let me quickly quote this verse. Sorry, Afa. The Quran says, Allah waliyul ladhina amanu yukhrijuhum min az-zulumati ila an-nur walladhina kafaru awliyahum at-taghut yukhrijunahum min az-zulumati ila an-nur. I want you to understand the zulumat. The zulumat is in plural form. Allah is the friend of those who believe. He brings them out of darknesses. That's what the Quran uses. Zulumat, darknesses. Ila nur, into light, one light, the light. Allah brings them from darknesses and put them into the light because the light is only one. Darknesses are plenty. Darknesses are the shadow works of our lives. There are the things we do in the dark we don't want anybody to know. There are the secrets that we keep we don't want anybody to find us doing it. There are the things we hide in our phone with all of the passwords we put in place. A man put password in his phone with his face, and his eyes will have to be open before it can be activated. Because each time he put password, the wife will crack it. There's somebody in the head of some women that can decode whatever code you have put. And this man kept doing it until when he had to do that. I was like, Haba, Ustadh, Kilo Day, what are you hiding? It's because of all of these zulumat. Salaam alaikum, are you with me? It's because of all of these darknesses that people keep around. Look, honestly, you see, I'm saying it as if it's you brothers that are bad. I'm saying it deliberately. You know what I mean? The people that are supposed to even hear what I'm saying, they are not even here. I'm just saying deliberately. Because even men who cheat, is it not women they cheat with? Is it not women they cheat with? Let me not talk about women. Let me not talk about women. Including a lady who told me without mincing words, she said whenever she feel like doing this thing, she has her ex-boyfriend now. That's basically she wanted to marry before marrying this one. And if this one is doing shakara for her, she will just go to that one. To go and complain to him, she said, no, we have sex now. Nothing we are never here. So we have sex. I said, just like that. She said, just like that. And there's no... Ustadh, sorry I'm saying this to you. I know it's a sin, but what will I do? Look at my husband. Money, he doesn't have. Care, he doesn't have. Good words, he cannot speak. He will still come back, he will still beat me. Overpaying of children's school fees. I'm the one who will pay half, go and write undertaking until I pay the other half. He will not even bother himself. And now he will not be keeping malice with me. He will not touch me, he will not talk to me for 3 weeks. Ustadh, will I kill myself? You know, I can't tell her that she's right. I don't have the power. But you know what she is doing is actually haram. I hope you understand. Hey, going to another man is haram. I was like, but it's better for you to leave him, to divorce him, and marry somebody else than for you to... She said, Ustadh, who will marry me? After 4 children. She said, who will marry me? I wish I had said, our brothers in Micah will marry you now, but I couldn't. Look, even if I know people who will marry her, I will discourage them. Because if a woman can be doing that, is it a brother I know that I will now say you marry her so that she will not be sleeping? Anybody who can sleep with somebody outside, she can always do it now, even if the husband is okay. May Allah forgive me. Some brothers are very experimental and they are very exploratory. They want to probe, they want to know, just like some of these my children. You see some of them, they want to know what is there, know what is there. When you see a boy breaking a toy to know what is inside, you know he's very curious. They carry it throughout life. And when they see another lady, they want to break the toy to know what's inside that lady. Only for them to know that it's the same thing that their wives have. That curiosity is what they grew up with. And they want to experiment, they want to know, the way I said some people love food, some other people love sleeping, if you know what I mean. And because of that, one type of sleeping is not enough for him. All of these things are natural. It's only Iman that can make somebody to discipline himself. But don't put your Iman in a place where it's going to be depleted. There are many ladies out there that have 1,000 times things that are better than your wife, unless we want to deceive ourselves. There are some ladies outside there that will show to you that they have and that they are 200 times better than your wife. And wallahi, it can be true. Because I didn't create all of us the same way. That same way, there are some guys out there who are 5,000 times better than you as a husband. Your wife only look the other way because they fear Allah. When it comes to romance, when it comes to good words, when it comes to care, when it comes to love, some of their bosses even care for them better than you do. They'll come to work in the morning, the boss will be like, you don't look fine today, I hope you're okay. She said, I'm okay, I'm okay. You can take today off if you don't. She said, no, don't worry, I will still do it. 2 days after, the boss asked, I hope you are okay. And she said, Alhamdulillah, I'm okay. Her husband would never ask. Never. To say you had a headache yesterday, are you okay today? Unless he will die, he will not ask. Is it because some of these ladies are fearing Allah? See, let us now use that fear of Allah to hold ourselves down for positive and negative means. Let's just fear Allah. Let us just manage as it is. No matter what, no matter how hungry a lion is, it will never eat grass. No matter what you face in your marriage, don't do what is haram. And no matter what you are going through, don't oppress anyone. That's why I said I don't have problem with divorce. Allah has put divorce in place as a blessing in disguise. If that is going to give good life of iman to both of you, falillah alhamd. But whatever it is, may Almighty Allah guide us aright. I do hope with this few points of mine, I've been able to convince you that there are some 5 family foundations that all of us should repair. You know what I mean by that? If the foundation is wrong and you already built a house, find a way of shocking blocks under and pouring sand and cement. Maybe it is going to make it to hold a little. Put extra pole like this to reinforce it so that it doesn't collapse. Well, if you can pull it and rebuild, well, you cannot renovate without breaking something. If you have to break things down, break it down and rebuild it. Inshallah, Allah will make it to be better for you. But let the foundation be there and then you pour more things. Brothers, the foundation you have is only for 1-story building, you know. If your foundation is only for 1-story building, don't go and start making 2-story buildings. If you are going to do 2-story building, you say I'm talking in parable now. If you are going to do 2-story building, you have to demolish the house and re-put the foundation. But no woman will stand there and look at you demolishing her. So you either stay with your one bungalow like that and forget about duplex. Leave duplex till the day of judgment. If you enter paradise, then you live in duplex. But now it is bungalow. Stay like that if you must stay like that. Unless, of course, you are going to put poles like this and put another decking on which another one is going to stay. You understand what I mean? May Allah have mercy. Now you have to strengthen the foundation. Yes, that's what I mean. If you are going to break things and pour more things, you have to do it. There's no shortcut to it. You can't manage it. Do you understand what I'm saying in English? You can't manage it. That the foundation must be strengthened, and you must look for the gravels. You must look for the cement. If you are going to buy cement on credit, you must look for iron rods. You must look for sand. You must look for experts that can mix this thing for you, and you must be able to do. But before you do that one, you have to remove all the chairs and tables, so that you will have access to the floor, and then you do your reinforcement. If not, the whole house will collapse. And when the whole house collapses, what does that leave you? You become homeless. And when you become homeless, that is your third skin that is gone. You know, we have 3 skins. This one is one. This cloth is another one. That roof is the third one. If that one collapses, there's little that this one and this one can protect you. So fear Allah in this regard. Fattakullah. Fattakullah alladhi tasa'aluna bihi wal arham. Inna Allah kana alaykum raqiba. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Takbir. Alhamdulillah, we thank our Ustadh. What all of us think. Assalamu alaikum. Please, what all of us think we are laughing now is a serious case. And see, please. Last week, I can see some faces. We are in a seminar together. They are discussing about family also, and it has been an issue, even among ourselves. Today divorce, tomorrow divorce. Therefore, there is a problem with family. It look like a play, but all of us should go home and think over it. Think over it and see how we take care of our family. May Allah assist us.
Ameen.
Inshallah, we will not take more question and answer because of time. Madam, do you take some question?
Maybe one here, one.
Okay. Malam said we should take some question. Please, I will just raise up your hand. I will just count the number once, please. 1, 2 from the brother. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Inshallah.
No, it's not fair.
Bismillah.
Naam. Assalamu alaikum. Ustadh, may Allah reward you for this lecture. You all agree with me that this is a very important lecture that we need to be discussing. We need to continue the orientation and awareness among ourselves, among our brothers and the sisters. The issues of divorce and unrest at home is becoming something very worrisome, that if we did not discuss it, we continue discussing it, I think it will become something that will be getting out of hand. I want to ask a question, Malam, and I would like to throw it in form of a few scenarios. Before a man will marry a sister, let's assume both of you meet in Abuja. The sister is probably, or she might be living in her own apartment. Let's say she's living in Wuse 2. She has maybe like a room apartment as a single sister. She's working. And by the time you marry her, you take her, probably maybe you take her to Garimpa or you take her somewhere else. And she needs to evacuate that her house, collapse all her properties, and move into your house. Now, after a while, two of you were able to move to your own permanent house. And it is possible that you are the one that built the house. Now, when the divorce comes, you ask her to leave your house because you are the one that single-handedly built the house, possibly. She had left a rented apartment. She has collapsed all her properties to your home. Where do we expect her to go? Is it to go back to that parent village, or to start life from somewhere? I want you to lay emphasis on that, and I have my reason. Wait, sir. Yes. If, let me finish. If the relationship happens to have children, is it your responsibility to take care just for the children or for both of them? And if it's for both of them, for how long? Assalamu alaikum.
Second question, please.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We want to say Jazakallah khaira to our lecturer once again. Yes, from the lecture, what we are able to deduct is that Malam said that it doesn't have much problem with divorce. But Almighty Allah gave a whole surah for talaq in Quran. But now, talaq has become a virus that is eating deep into. Formerly, it was into our life. Formerly, we normally hear it from the overseas country where it's very easy to divorce, but it's now eating deep into us as a Muslim. How can we address it now so that it doesn't become a serious virus? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh.
Jazakallahu khairan, Ustadh. May Allah increase your well-being and preserve your life upon goodness.
Amen.
My question is, having listened to you on the issue of trusteeship, I want to ask that, should we, in the present time as parents, be involved in spouse selection for our children? Not that we should force anyone on them. I'm not talking about that because that's not in tandem with the Sharia. But that we should wait, we should just give them a free hand, wait for them to say, oh, dad or oh, mom, someone came to me to propose to me, something like that.
Okay.
Number 5.
All right, thank you.
Number 5. Number 5.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh.
Sir, may Allah continue to preserve you for us.
Amen.
Because we're always happy to have you around us. We know it's always going to be an interesting program at the end of the day.
Alhamdulillah.
So my question is, it's observed that according to cultures, the Yorubas, men in the Yoruba culture, perhaps due to their background or upbringing, they have more of egoism. Yes. And coupled with the fact that they have not been able to differentiate between culture and Islam, what Islam states, and what they operate in their own family. What operates? Oh, in those days in our family, if you are being trained by somebody, definitely when you two grow up, you have to bring a man into the home. You have to train them, regardless whether it's okay with your wife or is not. With other issues like, you have to do this is how it's being done by fathers of those age, and then they have to continue with it. And we realize when it comes to divorce, the children suffers, and it's really heartbreaking that this is most common among we Muslims now. A brother actually asked the question that what do we do to cut these menace, and that after the woman is being divorced, they should please do their responsibility over that woman. Jazakumullah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
When we look at a marriage as individual, anything can go. But it baffles me that Muslims always seem to forget some things. That, for instance, the Prophet says, live with your women with love and kindness. But you find out that nowadays, people always, I don't even know if it's love or infatuation or lust. But where is that kindness? Then number 2 is in our marriages. How do we fight the influence of culture as forced on us by our parents? Remember, putting into consideration the fact that you don't want to also offend God through your parents. How do you maneuver yourself between the deen and what your parents want you to do in ensuring that you have a stable home?
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's quickly see what we can look at about this. The first one is about the scenario of a woman who rented her own apartment. She left to marry the man, and she packed to the house built by the man. Now that there's divorce, where is she going to go? And where will the children be? Are you listening? Okay, please, let's listen. One of the responsibilities of the man is to provide the accommodation for the wife, bil ma'ruf, from whatever he can do and whatever he can afford. So it's a nice thing that he has his own house and the woman has gone to live with him. وَعَاشِرُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. The Quran says, live with them with goodness. أَسْكِنُوهُنَّ مِنْ حَيْثُ سَكَنْتُمْ مِنْ وُجْدِكُمْ. The Quran says, make them to live in wherever home that you can afford for them. I'm paraphrasing the translation. أَسْكِنُوهُنَّ مِنْ حَيْثُ سَكَنْتُمْ مِنْ وُجْدِكُمْ. From the word sakana, that's where you live. From what you can afford, what you have, what you can find. So if the man has lived up to that, fine. But if there's divorce, mind you, a woman is not to be thrown out because there's divorce. Don't forget the idda part of it. And it involves a lot of negotiation. For example, if it's in a situation where it's going to be very hard and difficult for her to get an accommodation within those 3 months of her idda, are you following me? There is that thing that has to be done. The matter may have to get to the court, to the alkali, that's going to put some conditions in place so that the woman is not going to become homeless and she's not going to be thrown out of the house when she doesn't have the means to be able to do that. As far as Sharia is concerned, after the third idda, the third kurur, that's the third menses, let me use that language. She's supposed to move out of the house if there's no amicable resolution between them. That's what the Sharia says. But if there are some other circumstances like that, the judge will use his own ta'zir, will use his own discretion to rule in such a way that the woman is not going to suffer. In some instances, she may have to stay with somebody, or the state will have to provide an accommodation for her, or the man may have to look for alternative accommodation for her. The Sharia will not allow her to suffer because of that marriage. Because of the divorce, no woman is supposed to be left out or thrown out of the place. The other way, safety net, is that once a woman is divorced like that, it is usually very easy for her to remarry under normal circumstances. Because even the imam will announce in the masjid that so woman has been divorced. If anybody that's going to marry her, they can marry her. She can finish her iddah today. She will go to the masjid to do nikah, and then she carries her thing to the new husband's place. Under normal circumstances, ideal circumstances. With regards to the custody of the children, the Sharia court will also determine, especially based on the age of the children, the ages of, if it's a boy or if it's a girl. I think the girl is to remain with the mother till she reaches puberty, and the boy till he's 7 years old. And the boy will remain with the mother so long as the mother is not going to remarry somebody else till after the boy is over 7 years old. If the boy is 3 years old and the mother wants to remarry somebody else, the custody of the child will shift to the woman's mother. Do you understand what I mean? If the woman is remarrying, the child will be given to the woman's mother. If the woman's mother is not available, then to the woman's sister. If the woman's sister is not available, then the woman's grandmother. If the woman's grandmother is not available, then to the husband's mother, the former husband's mother. Is if all of these people are not available and the judge still thinks that the man can handle the situation, then they will not allow him to have custody of the child. So this is now the trick of Sharia now. Sure, you know that if the woman is divorced, she will have the children. And you as the man who divorced her, you must provide accommodation for those children. And the woman will now insist that if I want to take care of these children for you, I want a duplex in Asokoro. And you are going to be compelled by Sharia. Shebi, you are housing your children. You have to house the mother that will take care of them too, and you have to pay her allowances for looking after your children for you. That is the situation where Sharia would indirectly accommodate that woman. Do you understand what I'm saying now? So indirectly, the Sharia will say, okay, now these children are still small. She's going to take care of them for you. You are going to pay her every month for, even if she's breastfeeding, you pay her per breastfeed. If they say it is 1,500 per meal at Tetrazini, or 1,200 at Gidimanguru, Blue Zinc, then the woman will calculate for every breastfeed, every suckling I'm going to give to your baby, let me give you discount, 950. And this baby will suckle for how many times in a day? 10 times. So it's 9,500 per day. For 10 days, it is 9.5 million. I'm just saying it. Now, they will now negotiate. You will now beg her for discount. And then the Sharia will now, monitor it and they say, okay, madam, just take it easy with him. He's a poor man. Let him be paying 20,000 naira every month for breastfeeding this child. But what of me? Will I not eat before I breastfeed? Okay, for you, he will be paying you so amount for doing that for the child. And I need so and so place so that I can be comfortable to look after the children. Then he will have to rent. If he doesn't have the means to rent a place for her, he has to vacate that house for her to stay until the age when she can leave the children and go and marry another husband. Does anybody understand how beautiful Sharia is now? Thank you. Then this one is, don't divorce your wife, if you know that you can't look after the children. You said you don't have problem with divorce, but it's not a serious virus. Listen to this, brothers. Are you with me? Are you listening? The reason why I say I don't have problem with divorce is this. If you see what I've seen, you'll be praising Allah for putting divorce in place. Let me give you an example of one of the blessings of divorce from what I've seen from people. One lady rushed to my office on Monday morning. Are you listening? Monday morning, like this. And I felt, who would want to see me so early like this? She said they should tell me that it's an emergency, it's urgent. She rushed to my office because on the Saturday, her husband just married a new wife. A second wife. And as at Sunday morning, she realized that the former husband of that new wife, died of AIDS. And she feels it's possible that the woman is HIV positive. And she knows if she confronts her husband, who is still in honeymoon, he will say she is being jealous and she is cooking up stories. So she now came to look for me to help her prevail on the husband that the husband should go and do HIV test. And that he should not touch that woman yet. That was why she was looking for me since Saturday. Saturday I was in Bainokum. Sunday I had some other programs. Then Monday she said I should help talk to her husband. Let me not tell you more of the details. If it so happens that the man is confirmed HIV positive, should the woman still stay or she should divorce? Now, we will not go here today if you don't answer my question. Should she stay or divorce? From the so many things you know about Sharia, should she stay or she should leave? Okay, you are not answering my question. All right, let's leave it like that. That's why I say Allah that put divorce in place, Allah knows why he put divorce in place. The end of the story is that the man eventually got to hear, he got to know, and he later divorced the new wife because of her situation. But we didn't ask whether he consummated with her or not. We didn't ask that question. And we cannot compel this first wife to continue staying with him or to leave. So we leave them to pick whichever one is convenient for them in the Sharia. I hope you understand. May Allah have mercy on us. There's another thing I saw about divorce, that nowadays things have changed. Many people are operating on this atomic family system where everything begins and ends with them. You say, but report your husband to his family. She will say he doesn't respect anybody. In fact, this lady knows that she doesn't even know any member of his family. It is few of his friends that followed him to come and seek her hand in marriage during the nikah. It is his best friend as the imam that actually conducted the nikah. And two of his colleagues in the offices were the wali. And the witnesses were the neighbors. His family they don't know anything about her. They have never seen her, although she spoke to them on phone at a point. When there's matter of divorce, you now ask him, you ask her to report him to his family, whose numbers she doesn't even have. Incidentally, this guy is even the breadwinner in his family. So there's no family to report to. So they will kukuma settle everything. Let's go to Alkali. Let's go to Idu. Area upper court. Then they go and do that one, and they do upper court for each other. So you see, it is very easy and very rampant to divorce now, just the way it seems very easy and rampant to marry. May Allah have mercy on us. This is one of the reasons why there's a lot of divorce. But you know, some cases are very genuine. We can't say because some people are abusing it, we cannot prescribe what Allah has made to be halal. Divorce is halal, mind you. If anybody says otherwise, they just want you to stay with your husband. And there's nothing wrong if anybody wants you to stay with your wife. Fine. But divorce is not haram. And I don't know where people got this hadith from, that the most hateful thing inside of Allah is divorce. Who told you that? I'm not sure if there's any hadith like that. What I know is that Allah has made a provision for divorce if the case has to result into divorce. And Allah can never regret putting something in place in Sharia. You will get to see a lot of cases where that divorce is the best thing that will ever happen in their lives. And look, you people have witnessed a lot of marriages now, right? You've witnessed a lot of nikah. I have witnessed a lot of divorce. And I've seen while divorce is taking place that this is the best for the two of them. Famsikuhunna bil ma'ruf aw tasrihuhunna bil ma'ruf. The Quran says, stay with them with goodness or depart with them mutually with goodness. In fact, the man will even buy a gift for the wife when they are divorcing. I'm serious. He will leave his car with her as parting gift that this marriage cannot work. If you love a bird, you set it free. You don't engage a woman or a man because you love them. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Then let me quickly rush this one. Trust issue. Should we be involved in spouse selection for our children? My sister, from the way matters are now, we have to be involved though. Let us not say, people will say we are old school. Let us be involved. Let us encourage them. Let us advise them. I hope you understand. Let us shook our mouth, shook our eyes. Let us observe. Let us investigate. It's very important. Let us investigate. Let us be sure. In fact, let us plan it sometimes. Don't you see how rich people do with their children? The daughter of one governor will marry the son of another governor. You think it is like joke? They planned it now. Let us plan ours too. Let our sons and our daughters marry each other. Tomorrow when we die, they will continue with Micah. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. If there's anything waiting, they will hear lecture. They will go to programs. They will go to occasion because that's where we marry them together. This is very important, and I want to, at the risk of sounding like old school, don't let us leave the children alone. There is too much distraction for them. I have sons and daughters. Anytime I see any of you, I'm observing all of you mothers here. When any of your daughters are old enough for marriage, me, I will show up. There's no shame in it. I want your daughter to marry my son. And somehow we will pray Allah will make their union to be good. Our Allah will be reduced unless they don't want. But let us make effort. And let the boy appreciate that. Thank you, Daddy. The lady you have proposed to me, she's nice, but I would prefer so and so. Of course, he already now understands the standard I'm looking for him. And unless these children are not our own children, they trust us well enough to listen to us. Even if we have disagreement with them, they still respect our decisions on them. And I congratulate all of you for that. You may not know what Allah has done for you yet. Until when that time comes and you know that your daughter still respects you and your son still respects you. So this domestic aspect of it can still work. Domestic family system is still important. Please, let's hold on to it. May Allah make it easy for us. Then Yoruba culture, with a lot of ego and upbringing issue, they say this is how we do in our place. This is how you must do your own too. In fact, oh, Allah Akbar. Let's do another lecture someday about culture and marriage. But what I know and what I understand is that I want to advise men to fulfill their responsibility to the children after divorce. Like I told you, I will just be deceiving myself if I say there's no divorce or people should not divorce. How am I going to say this without being misunderstood now? Let's just leave it like that. Life is very short. Life is very short. Once more, let me congratulate all of you. Because you go to lectures, it's part of your life. There's nothing new anybody can tell you about marriage and relationship. Most of what we are saying, you are just being reminded. Those who need this lecture, they don't come here. Those who need to hear what we are saying, they don't attend programs like you. And that's why you see some cases. You'll be invited to come to a nikah. While you are still there during the wedding, you know that this marriage cannot last. Even you know, as you are looking at them, you know this thing cannot last. Take for instance, this one happened as an accident or anyhow. There's this boy, he had issues, but nobody told this girl that the girl was in university then. By the time you finished, they said this is the person you are going to marry. And then it worked. The families, they worked it out. And they both agreed to marry each other. Lo and behold, 2 years into the marriage, before the girl realizes that this boy is a drug addict. He is not only addicted to these high drugs, even alcohol. She said there are occasions that he will come and she is the one that will have to carry him into the room. He had gotten drunk by 3 a.m. He will come and bang the door for her. They are Muslims. So it so happened that this lady finally gets to know that this guy has been a drug addict. They tricked her into marrying him. And the type of drug that he had been addicted to, I doubt if he can ever come out of it. People don't come out of cocaine. It's something they have to manage for the rest of their lives. And unfortunately, this drug has affected his sperm count. It's going to be very difficult for her to be pregnant as a result of this boy's drug thing. The mother had always been covering up for him. He doesn't have any job, but he says he's doing business with his mother. He will sleep from morning till night. By 9 p.m., he will dress and go out. He will come back 3 a.m. to go and drink, to go and shai and things like that. The question now is, when this lady now came to cry, Ustadh, what should I do? This lady is just 27 years old. And she said, Ustadh, what should I do? My parents said I should hold on that he will change. Fi sabilillah, between you and Allah. Are you listening to me now? Between you and Allah, fi sabilillah. What is the truth you can tell her? Okay, fi sabilillah, if you want to deceive her, what are you going to say to her? You will even be teaching her prayers. Me, I know they deceive you. You know Allah is going to ask me. And the life of people is in my hands. When people come and tell you what is disturbing their lives, they are telling you the big stone that is placed on their destiny. And you think I'm going to deceive them too? No, I don't deceive people. I will tell them straightforward that, look, oh girl, you are 27 years old. And there's no obligation under the Sharia that you must stay with him for the rest of your life. You want to have children? Yes. They said his sperm count cannot get you pregnant? Yes. As far as I am concerned, Sharia has not imposed it on you. But you feel you want to stay, you can make up your mind. But as far as Sharia is concerned, you have the right to divorce and marry somebody else. This is how I say my own thing. Another lady came, she's 36 years old. She had been married for 8 years. But the man is impotent. When I say impotent, I mean flat. It's just nama that he has. And they have been managing it, they have been treating it, whether he'll be okay, whether he will use his medicine, whether he will use that one. This lady married him as a virgin. She's still a virgin at 36. Yes. Between you and Allah, what will you tell her that is the truth? What will you tell her that is the truth, brothers? If it were you, they came to meet. I don't want to say things that Allah will now ask me, why did I deceive them? So sometimes the truth can be very bitter. Kul haqqo walau kana murra. You have to speak the truth even when it is bitter. I looked at that lady, I said, what if this lady happened to be my daughter? Am I going to tell her to remain after 8 years? So may Allah forgive all of us for the truth that we tell sometimes. It can be very deadly. Some people will not even talk to you again. And some people will call you names. I know people who had called me a lot of names. And some people had blackmailed me here and there because I said they are cheating that girl by making her married to their son. So they call me all sorts of names. And I don't really, at this stage, I don't really think, it doesn't really affect me anymore. People have said that a lot of times, you know. It doesn't affect me because I got to realize that as we are aging, we get to be aware that Allah will ask us things. Especially those of you, including me, that people will tell their secrets to. They will tell you what is the core of their life, something they have never told any human being. They will tell only you. You will now deceive them. And tell them, you know, you have to stay, you have to pray. Okay, let me teach you this prayer. Let me do this one. Somebody said her husband beat her. She collapsed. The neighbors rushed her to the hospital. For the 3 days she was hospitalized, he didn't come and greet her. So they now discharged her now. She now came to complain, and people said she should continue with the marriage, that the man will change. And you think I, AbdFattah, will tell her to still go and continue with that marriage? Even if I don't have any husband to give her, I will tell her, go and be doing your ibadah. Allah will bring another husband for you. It's just that what is giving me running stomach, this is what is making me to be sad. You know, you are my people, and I always tell you what is stopping me. What is giving me running stomach is, even after you tell them to leave, who do you want them to marry now? Who do you want them to marry? Where are the men that they are going to marry? Where are the men? Where are the women where are the men whose wives will allow them to marry such women? Better stay or just stay your lane. Everybody maintain your lane, no? But I'll still tell my own. May Allah forgive me, and may Allah forgive you too. Finally, where is love and kindness in marriage? How do you fight the influence of culture on our deen? The best way you can do that is to Micah, Movement for Islamic Culture, and yes, stick to Micah. You'll be learning this thing. We can't learn it all at one time. But stick to Micah. You'll be learning how to manage between culture and the deen. Between culture and the deen. It's a lot of navigation. You dodge like this, you move like this, you turn like this, you turn like this. They say you must come and kneel down for them in your family house, in your in-laws' place. And you, maybe somebody told you in Micah that it's not nice to kneel down for somebody. So what are you going to do? Just hug them. Thank you, my sister. Oh, thank you. What should I give you? Please, take this. Yes, come and take. Just hug them, that's all. Hug them and carry provision for them. They will forgive you. You, brother, they say you don't know how to dobale. Is it dobale we are talking about? You don't need to dobale. Get 10 yards of Guinea brocade. Take it to Olori Ebi. I say, bow. I just say, let us come and greet you. Then you put it in. You some of the brothers, you people should be teaching them. When you are going there, you wear suit, wear tie. Don't wear cap or don't look like Ustadh. Wear suit and tie. And when you get there, you just shake hands. They know now. Alakowe doesn't dobale. Alakowe doesn't just go there. Baba, oh, Baba, Daddy. Don't say Baba, Daddy. Then you say Daddy. This is what I brought for you. Let's stop here. Sorry, we We can do this for a long time. Please, one inner tenor for yourselves, everybody. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna atena kalikotha fasoli rabbika wanhar inna shanaka walabta. May Allah forgive me, may Allah forgive you too.
We thank our Malam. Inshallah, there is no time. We just give announcement and we